In this video, I'm going to be building the best possible team for 1 million MT right now in NBA 2K23 my team. Now, I know that's going to be really expensive for a squad, so if you guys want to go check out my cheaper squad builders, you guys can definitely feel free to do so. The best team for 100k, 250k, or 500,000 MT if you guys want to check out those cheaper squad builders. But if you got around a million MT or want to know some cards to play on the best team for a mil, this is, in my opinion, going to be the best team you can build for that 1 million MT price tag. So at the starting point guard position, I do think is going to be the invincible Penny. Really good for his price. Like, you can pick up Penny for around 70 to 75k. He's going to be a 6'7" point guard, 6'10" wingspan. We know Penny's going to be great all around when we're talking about stats and badges, but the nice thing about Penny is they actually gave him a top tier jump shot, the D Rose base, John Wall upper on very quick timing. He's got great dribble sigs and he moves super quick on the court. Feels very fast with the ball in his hand, so he's great at getting downhill, getting to the basket, and also does have perfect defensive tendencies. And for his price tag, I mean, you can't get really much better than a card like Penny Hardaway, especially when you're pairing him up with this type of 2-3-4 combo. We got Kevin Durant at the shooting guard position, who's going to be about, I think, 250k, maybe a little bit cheaper, maybe a little bit more expensive. It really just depends on the day, you know, if the market's lower or higher, and just depends really when you're checking the auction house, if it's at night or in the morning, or, you know, just sometimes cards might end for cheaper or might be more expensive. But I think he's around that 250k range, and he's going to be such a good shooting guard. 6'10" at the 2, 7'4" wingspan, so we don't really need Penny to score the ball too much. We really just need him for a bit of defense and to be able to score and kind of be that second or third ball handler, because we know Kevin Durant's going to be probably our main scorer and a guy that can really shoot the lights out. So yeah, KD next to Penny Hardaway I think is going to be a great combo, and really isn't that expensive for this type of squad. Now at the starting small forward position, gotta go for the normal interdimensional Bol. I feel like he's the perfect small forward, you know, for this position to pair alongside Kevin Durant and Penny Hardaway, because we need some more height. We need some more size, right? KD's 6'10", which is great for a shooting guard. Penny only 6'7", could be a little bit taller. So nice to have Bol here, who's going to be 7'2" at the small forward position, 7'7" wingspan, and a guy that's going to be very, very versatile on the defensive end. He's going to be a great defender, able to guard most positions in the game. And they actually gave Bol a very solid jump shot with his own release on very quick timing, and that just comes down to preference. I know some people that hate this jump shot, some people that like it, like me. I just think it's a decent release, and then also moves very smoothly for a 7'2" card. He's got the Kyle Lowry size up and the tray escape and the Dame behind the back. So all around for his price of only, I think, like 70 to 80k, like Bol is really not that expensive, and is one of the cards that has gone down a ton in price over the past couple days. Like, I'm looking on Xbox and you can probably get this Bol card for maybe 70k or cheaper, like 75k, which is a really good price in my opinion for Bol. Yeah, about 75k, and he's going to be an elite level small forward. Now at the starting power forward position is going to be the end game David Robinson. I think he's one of the best end games. I think him and KD very close to being the two best end games in my team. Now there is Shaq, but I think Shaq's a little bit too expensive for this type of squad, and I think you can make the argument that D-Rob's actually better than Shaq. So for this position, it really just comes down to preference. If you want to go Shaq instead of D-Rob, then you can definitely feel free to do so. I just think D-Rob, because of that lefty jump shot on these endgame versions, if you guys don't know, at least for me personally, I find the jump shot to be a little bit more consistent. Like, I find the endgame jump shot to be a little bit more consistent when it's a lefty jump shot. So whether it's D-Rob or Bill Russell, that's just me personally. So I find his release to be a little bit more knockdown compared to a card like Shaq's release or Joel Embiid's release. So that's why I think he's going to be in here. And D-Rob's just such a good power forward card. I think one of the best power forwards in my team, and he's going to cost you about 250k, somewhere in that price range. And then to pair alongside D-Rob at the starting center position, I think you got to go with the Dark Matter Yao. Obviously can't afford the hero version, but this Dark Matter is about 75, 80k, maybe 85,000 MT at most, and you're still going to get a Yao Ming card that is, you know, 7'6" with a 7'9" wingspan, really solid all around stats and badges for a Yao Ming card. And then he's still got a pretty good jump shot with that Robert Williams base, Shea upper on very quick timing. So you got a Yao Ming card that's going to give you the size. He can space the floor and be such a good defender. So this starting lineup, I mean, it's going to cost you Not really sure the price, but probably majority of our budget, but still, you get such a good starting lineup that can compete and really dominate most other teams in the game. And I think it's a fun lineup to use as well. You got some fun cards to try out there, and I feel like you got enough size with Bol, D-Rob, and Yao Ming, and also Kevin Durant at that shooting guard position. But now coming off the bench, I do think is going to be Nikola Jokic, and this is a card that you could honestly switch if you wanted to. The out of position version I think is just as good as the hero version, maybe 90 to 95% of what the hero card gives you, because there's really not too big of a difference besides the 10 Hall of Fame badges. And especially at this time in my team, I don't think the 10 Hall badges really make a difference when these two Jokic's card, the hero, the Dark Matter hero lock-in, or the Dark Matter hero card that locks in from Minute, or the out of position Jokic, they're basically the same card and do everything very similar. Now, if you wanted to start Jokic over Penny Hardaway, you could definitely do so as well if you want a little bit more size, but I think having that size coming off the bench is also going to be really helpful. And then for the backup shooting guard position, we do got the Dark Matter Radiant T-Mac, a guy that's just going to be such a good scorer and such a good offensive card to have coming off the bench. 6'8" at the 2 guard, 7'2" wingspan. We know his jump shot is still one of the easier jump shots to green in the game with that KPJ base. Oscar upper on quick timing is still one of the easier jump shots to green in my opinion. And then he's also got great dribble sigs with a T-Mac size up, the Curry escape aim behind the back. He's got the front clutches so he can slash at the basket. Can maybe use some better defensive tendencies and some better defensive stats and badges, but that's why we're pairing up T-Mac alongside Jokic and also alongside Kevin Garnett, because we don't really need too much, offense when we already have we don't really need too much offense when we already have T-Mac in the lineup. I feel like having KG and Jokic around him is going to be great size, right? Both these cards, Jokic and KG, both going to be 6'11", great player models. Like Jokic got a 7'3" wingspan and a really wide player build, and then you got KG with the 7'2" wingspan and also a great player build as well. And KG is going to be there for defense. He's going to be our lockdown off the bench, a card that has got amazing stats and badges for defense. Could use some better defensive tendencies, but still offensively a really good offensive power forward. He's got a knockdown jump shot, great dribble sigs. Like this card just does everything you need from a lockdown small forward. Radiant T-Mac gonna be about 20k, maybe even a little bit lower. You got Jokic, that's about I think 30k, maybe even a little bit lower. And then you got Kevin Garnett around that 30,000 MT price range. So going to be really cheap cards coming off the bench. And then for the backup power forward position, I feel like we do need some size, obviously, in case we have, a Yao Ming coming off the bench or a Taco Fall or just these tall cards in the game. We're going to need to have some size. We got Taco Fall here, 7'6" at power forward, 8'2" wingspan. And we just know Taco's going to be such a good paint defender, such a good all-around defender, and a card that can really score at a high level, just mashing and being overpowered, with his size and his glitchy animation. So Taco isn't going to be anything too special or crazy on paper, but if you guys have used this Taco Fall card, he is still absolutely insane at the power forward position, and he's only about 55k, maybe even a little bit cheaper some days. So Taco really good for his price. And then to round out the best team for 1 million MT is going to be this next Victor Wembanyama. Him and Taco I think is a great pairing alongside each other. They're very similar, and you got a 7'5" power forward, a center card. It really depends where you're running him. Like in game, just because of his player build and his size, Taco will most likely be guarding the other center, right? And then we'll have Victor Wembanyama, who's a little bit quicker, a little bit more mobile. He'll most likely be guarding the power forward. That's just what I would assume that's just what I would personally do with this type of team, is run it like this, having Wemby at the 4 and Taco at the 5, just matchups wise on the defensive end. But yeah, guys, that's going to be the best team you guys can build right now in the game for 1 million MT, at least in my opinion. But when you got a million MT to spend, there's a tons of different, variations and different squads you can build. So let me know in the comment section down below, maybe some stuff you guys will change about this team. But hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.